was a great call.
I think that's the first time I've heard you say.
Yeah, well, it's the new me. I've been meditating. I'm serious. I started meditation. Phil thought it was a good idea for me, and I've been doing it.
You got Phil Jackson now?
Yes, yeah, he has 11 titles. It's not a bad guy to listen to.
So is that the closest to coaching a regular season game you've seen so far?
Well, you know, the last Utah game was too. So, you know, both end of the game situations, and that's always nice to have. You know, I was happy second half defensively. I think we held them to, 42 if you take JJ's two technicals away. And that was against a good offensive team. That was good. You know, I thought there was a stretch where we could have really stretched the lead. I think we went up and down the court. It felt like 10 minutes, but it was 4 minutes, and we never, you know, took advantage of some of the matchups that I thought we had. But overall, good effort. Happy with CDR's defense down the stretch. That's why we left him in. I thought he was really good because Gerald Green was toasting us, and I thought CDR kind of ran him off his shots, and that was good.
That you guys have one game left.
Amen.
What do you know about the team? What did you find about?
Well, I don't know if I didn't know what I know that we have a chance to be really good. I think we have to commit to that. And like I said, I think we've played this whole preseason in stretches and spurts, but we haven't sustained an entire game yet. I know it's in us. You know, I see it, you know, in practice. And, you know, hopefully, you know, we are ready for game one.
How will you handle the last preseason game? Will you do it like the NFL and like kind of make sure?
I'm just going to read. You know, I think every team's different. It was interesting. You know, every year with a group of guys, you can see who wants to play. Like literally, you can see it. And so I'm just going to try to visually make the right decision. You know, honestly, we had guys in Boston, the older guys, for whatever reason, wanted to play the last game. I didn't get that one for the life of me, but they did. And so we set them in other games. You know, I never did. I can tell you that. You know, I just didn't even want to be in the run into anybody. You know, that's how that game is played a lot. So, and then we're gonna have to judge on what they do. You know, that's one of those coaches' games where you look down and see who's on the floor. You want to make sure your guy is against their best guys. So.
How about the scheduling though itself? That you got one more game and then almost a whole week. How does that come to?
That's perfect. That's exactly the way we set it up. You know. I like a lot of time going into that first game. You know, you can watch film of all the things you didn't do and fix them. You can actually have some prep work for the teams you're playing. You know, we play it back to back, so you can actually have prep work for both teams. You know, so and then we're off. You know, on to this season. I'm looking forward to that.
You know, was a guy that you know, last year the best, it looked like he finally was maybe.
Yeah, that was a big injury. You know, people missed that injury. With us last year against Golden State. He was starting to really help us. And then he goes out, and we can't use him at all in that other series. He looks good. You know, we made a deal this summer. Told him at the end of the year, he's back if he's in shape. That was my deal. And he came back in great shape, put some muscle on, you know, for Hedo, or a muscle. You know, it's all relative. But he's, you know, he looks great. I'm really happy. And he's another guy, like, even when he doesn't play, he's a great guy to have on your bench. He says the right stuff. Like, he's not scared of the stars. He tells them the truth. And I think it's always better when a player tells another player the truth over a coach.
Can he steal some minutes at the 3 for you guys, or is he?
It depends on the matchup. He's kind of aged into a 4. But there's nights, like tonight actually, they were so big that you probably could have slipped him in at the 4. And we've talked about it in practice. We started 2 practices ago. We're making them run our skeleton at the 3, just in case, you know, we have to do it. I hope we don't, but just in case, if you do, at least he knows the position.
How about your stars tonight? Not too bad, huh?
Yeah, they were pretty good. You know what I liked is Blake had, you know, an advantage low tonight, and we took advantage of it. We kept doing it. I thought we went away from it a couple of times, you know. And then CP was very aggressive, you know. They were going under screens, and, you know, we're just telling them they go under shoot. You know, he can really shoot the ball. He's a great shooter. but he's still a point guard, and point guards struggle shooting because they're thinking they shouldn't shoot or they should pass. And we're trying to convince them if someone wants to go under on you, just shoot the ball. It's our best play. It's the best play we're going to have on that possession. And tonight he did that.
When you go back and look at this film, you see Jared Cunningham in their last 3 minutes or so of the game. What are some of the things you're looking forward to?
He's been great. You know, he's a tough kid. You know, defensively he tries to do the right thing. He's not scared to shoot the ball. He's aggressive, and it's great having a jet. I mean, he's a jet. So it's great having, you know, speed kills. I mean, speed is nice to have, and he has that.
How much do you think that rest day helped your go-to guys there last night?
Probably a lot. I mean, I don't anticipate them playing this well if they had played last night, that's for sure. And, you know, the way I looked at it, I knew I was going to play them one of the 2 games. And why not play them in front of the home fans? Why treat Golden State fans? Treat our own fans. That's the way honestly, it's silly, but that was the decision that I made, and it was the right one.
Doc, what's the right number of preseason games?
I think 4. I really do. I think we talked about it earlier, but maybe I didn't know. But I'm a big believer in that. I think if you played 4 preseason games and started the season a week earlier with the same amount of games, now you can stretch the season. You don't have as many back-to-backs. You can take away some of the 4 and 5s. I think that would go a long way for us.
How can you squeeze in they send teams to different countries? Can you still squeeze that?
Yeah, you can still do it. You know, your first preseason game would be over there, or your first 2. You come back, you have a ton of time still. If you took it to 4, you can still start the season a week earlier. You know, I think it'd be good.
Anybody listening to that at all? Or?
I haven't really talked about it yet because out of nowhere, all of a sudden, we're talking about shortening, you know, not playing 82 games, which I don't think is very realistic. But maybe we can still play the 82, take away some preseasons, and give our guys more rest. You know, the big issue, from what I see, is the 4 and 5s and the back-to-backs. You know, and so I think the fans would appreciate it. It'd be better basketball, more rested teams. You know, we have some of these TV games where guys have played 5 games in 8 nights, and they're on the road, and the game looks terrible because they're tired. You know, so we can figure that one out. It's hard though. It's there's no arena availability. It's hard. You know, it's really hard to fit these games in.
Is that a better solution than 44-minute games? 4 preseason games?
I think so, but I don't think that was I'm not sure if I like that or not. I just don't know yet. I didn't look at the game. I haven't talked to Brad or anybody about the game. So I can't wait to talk to them to figure out what they thought. You know, but I don't know. I'm not smart enough to figure that out.
That's the other Brad, not this Brad. They all there.
Yeah. No, I was talking about you. Did you like it?
When they play it.
Oh, oh my gosh.
You talked about Steve Ballmer before the game. Did he ever? He's obviously sitting fairly close to you.
I thought I heard him. I wasn't sure. Was that him screaming?
Yes.
Might have been.
Was it?
Well, I was like,
At first I thought it was somebody, honest to gosh, because I never looked, but I honestly thought it was somebody doing an impersonation of Steve Ballmer because I could hear his voice.
No, that was.
Miss it or something like that, and I turned around. Then one time I said, I think that was Steve over there.
Was that your Steve Ballmer? Yeah, that was
Yeah,
your Steve Ballmer.
yeah, I think that was our, yeah, that was my best I could do.
He's gonna pass out by the November.
Who's that?
He can't, Steve. He can't keep that up, can he?
Was he, was he active today? Oh, I didn't know that. Huh?
He was throwing t-shirts.
I love it. You know, listen, he's got energy. Energy's good. You know, I say it about players. I'd rather kindle a fire than start one. You know, he's got it. Damn, I wish I had some of that energy.
What does it do with the atmosphere? We have Steve Ballmer on one side of Staples Center, and then you have Cooper Durrell on the opposite side.
Yeah. What is it? UGLY? You ugly? Isn't that what he said? I love that cheer. I used to do it when I was playing. I didn't appreciate it. I didn't like it then. All right, I'm done. You guys are too silly.
Guys, will be next door, and everyone will be in the locker room tonight.
Come on, man. Pay attention. I'm watching the
Yeah, that's true, too. I'm watching the same thing.
You know.